Hello everyone, this is part 14 of What If Naruto was trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more. Naruto and Team 8 had been spending the rest of the time relaxing and recovering from the fights in the forest even though they weren't hurt or extremely tired. They had seen several teams arrive at the tower like Team 10, and even though they didn't really know each other apart from the academy, Naruto tried his best to get to know them. He knew a little about each of them and their capabilities thanks to Anko and Kurenai, but that was it. So wanting to make some new friends and allies, he went over to talk to them. Seeing Ino was busy talking to Asuma-sensei and Chuji was in the process of stuffing his face with food, he went over to Shikamaru. Hey guys, good to see you made it too. How were the days in the forest? Naruto asked with genuine interest. Hey Naruto, yeah, we barely made it, but it was so troublesome to get here. Shikamaru told him in his usual bored and lazy voice. They talked for a bit, asking each other how it went and if they knew what was going to be next. Shikamaru also asked Naruto about how he graduated since he wanted to know the full story instead of rumors here and there which probably were lies anyway. So Naruto told him how Mizuki tricked him into stealing the scroll and how he tried to Kairuka and him so he could escape from Konoha. Shikamaru listened with his full attention on Naruto and started to respect the guy a little more. Sure, he didn't really know Naruto before, but he always thought it was weird how people treated him sometimes. Unlike many, thought Shikamaru was quite perceptive and paid attention to things normal people would see as useless. He came to the conclusion Naruto was much stronger and more talented than he originally thought and promised himself to keep on his toes if he ever was to fight the blonde shinobi. He wasn't stupid enough to rely on the things he knew about Naruto from their academy time. This seemed to be a whole new Naruto and he couldn't help but ask about it. Naruto, don't take this the wrong way, but you have changed a lot from the Naruto I knew in the academy. What happened to you? Shikamaru asked. Well, several things actually. After I kicked Mizuki's ass into a coma, Sandaime told me that my parents wanted me to become the best shinobi I could be. You know I'm an orphan, right? Well, hearing that I promised them I would become the world's strongest shinobi, and for that I needed to stop fooling around. Also, for the first time since Iruka-sensei, I got a teacher who actually taught me something. My Junin teacher turned out to be the best teacher I could ever get. She really taught me a lot and I stopped being a little kid and started to be a true shinobi of the leaf. Until the thing with Mizuki, I kind of thought that being a shinobi was about fighting and defeating bad guys. You know, like in stories and stuff, but then I realized being a shinobi is about protecting the ones you love, the people that mean a lot to you, and when I realized that, I knew I had to get serious about being a shinobi. I need to get as strong as I can possibly be to protect my village and the ones I love. Naruto explained. Shikamaru was shocked hearing Naruto's words. In a way he thought the same thing as Naruto. He wanted to be an average shinobi, find a wife and raise a family and of old age having lived a quiet normal life. But hearing Naruto talk about what he thought what being a shinobi was all about, he actually believed Naruto was right. Even if he found a wife and raised a family, what good would it do if he couldn't defend them because he was too weak? Maybe it was time for him to grow up and start being serious as well. He would have to think about this, he realized. Thank you Naruto, you have given me a lot of things to think about. I will see you soon, but for now I'm going to rest up while I still have some time. Shikamaru told Naruto. Naruto wondered what he had said to Shikamaru but waved his goodbye and went to find his friends. Asuma, however, had been listening to the conversation and silently thanked Naruto for his words to Shikamaru. Naruto had succeeded in something he had been trying to do for months. Ever since Team 10 started their genin career, he had been trying to get Shikamaru motivated and to be more serious about training and shinobi life. But everything he had tried failed and he was close to giving up, figuring Shikamaru would learn on his own what it meant to be a shinobi. Now, however, he knew that Shikamaru would think about Naruto's words very carefully and maybe he would realize that Naruto was right. He would have to apologize to Anko for laughing at her student. She had made a true shinobi out of him, he realized. While Naruto and his friends were busy doing nothing, Anko was on her way to tell the Hokage about what she had learned about Orochimaru from Naruto. The Hokage needed to know what was going on so appropriate actions could be taken. She realized this was a very bad situation for Konoha. If they cancelled the exams, they would be considered weak by the other shinobi villages, and this was never a good thing. There had been wars for lesser reasons than that, and seeing Konoha had won the previous 2 wars, they were a prime target should they appear weak. She knew Iwa and Kumo still harbored bad feelings about Konoha, and they wouldn't let a chance like this go by if they found out that Konoha was having internal trouble. They had to continue the exams and hoping that everything would turn out okay. Still, she had a very bad feeling about all of this, and it worried her. She hadn't fought in a war before, but she heard stories from older shinobi, and frankly it scared the s out of her. She was someone who liked to fight, sure, but war is something nobody could ever like. When she saw the door to the Hokage's office, she stopped her train of thoughts and concentrated on what would follow next. She knocked, and when she heard the Hokage's permission, she entered. She saw that every Junin sensei who had a team in the exam was present, as were a few other Junin. Anko, welcome, we were waiting for you. Please tell us quickly what you have learned. This will just be an report, we will meet on this topic more seriously after the preliminaries. Sandaime said. Very well, sir. When I saw those boss, I immediately recognized Orochimaru's work and I asked for backup from Anbu. After that I went inside the forest trying to find out why he was here, for hoping that I wouldn't have to face him, but unfortunately he found me and we engaged in battle. Like you might suspect, I had absolutely no chance against him, but I did find out several things from him. He said he was here for Uchiha Sasuke and that he gave him the same cursed seal as me. He also told me that if the exams were cancelled he would destroy Konoha. Anko started. Sandaime and the rest of the Junin listened to Anko's report and got angry and started talking amongst them when she told them that Orochimaru wanted to destroy Konoha. Sandaime ordered everyone to stay calm and to let Anko continue. Thank you, sir. Yesterday afternoon Naruto and Team 8 arrived at the tower and they told me that they saw Team 7 being attacked by the Sound Nin. They decided to intervene when they saw that Haruno Sakura was the only one able to fight. They also confirmed that Uchiha Sasuke received the cursed seal and that he activated it during the fight with those Sound Nin. As you know, the seal is impossible to seal away, so the best option is to place a suppression seal on top of the seal and hope that the Uchiha has the mental strength to help suppress it. Anko finished. Sandaime sighed, thinking he was too old for all these things, but seeing that he didn't have a successor at hand, he realized he had no choice other than to deal with this himself. Apparently the bad feelings he had been having about this exam were justified. Alright, since Team 7 isn't back yet, there's not much we can do for now. Kakashi, as soon as Sasuke is back you are to place a suppression seal on him. We will first complete the preliminaries since this comes first, after that we'll meet again to discuss the course of actions for the future. Keep your eyes and ears open at all time, the smallest piece of information may save many lives. Dismissed. Sandaime said, and every Junin disappeared from the office. Sandaime stood up from his chair and walked to the window. He looked at the view of the village that he loved so much. The thought of it being destroyed by one of his former students was very hard on his old heart. He couldn't help but regret not King Orochimaru all those years ago. He had failed in doing what was necessary that time, but this time he would not hold back. If Orochimaru planned to destroy the village, he would once again become the Hokage his old enemies feared. He would show them that he still had the will of fire in him, and anyone who tried to hurt this village or his people would regret it for a very long time. He had been the one to lead Konoha through 2 shinobi wars, and he would make sure that Konoha would make it through another if it came that far. The next day Naruto woke up feeling very anxious the coming day, since in a few hours the second test would be over and they would finally be told what the third test would be. He and Team 8 had been speculation on the things the third test could be. They had come to a conclusion that the first test was about knowledge and spying and the second test was about survival and teamwork, so to them the third test would be individual strength and fighting skills. They had spent some time with Team 10 the day before and they hit it off fairly well, especially Naruto and Shikamaru seemed to become good friends. He had discussed their idea for the third test and Shikamaru had to agree that this was a very possible outcome. Ino, who didn't really like the Naruto she knew from the academy, took some time to revise the Naruto in front of her and she was honestly surprised. No longer was he a shrimp in an orange jumpsuit who always wanted to be in the center of attention and always made a fool out of himself. This was a grown-up Naruto, who looked strong and confident but no arrogant, one who she might even get along with if she got to know him a little better, she thought. She made her way over to Hinata and started to talk to the shy girl she remembered from the academy. Hey Hinata, how are you doing? Are you nervous as well? Ino asked, expecting Hinata to stutter her answer like she used to do. Hey Ino, I'm doing fine thank you. How are you? And yes, I'm getting a little nervous, but we've trained really hard for this exam, so I'm sure we'll be alright. How about you? Hinata said, smiling at Ino. She hadn't really talked to the girl before since she didn't like fangirls too much, but at least Ino didn't insult Naruto or her team. I guess I'm starting to get little nervous as well. I mean, everybody is so strong and we're only rookie genins, so I'm a little worried. We did a lot of missions before, but nothing compared to this. How long have you been training for the exam? Ino asked curiously. Well, ever since Naruto became an unofficial member of the team, we've been training really hard, but the last 4 months we focused on training for the exam. We even did less missions so we would have more time to train. Hinata said, not seeing any harm from letting Ino know this. 4 months. You guys have been training 4 months for this exam. We only knew about the exams 2 months before it started. Ino exclaimed, shocked at Hinata's words. Yes, our Junin senseis told us as soon as they got the permission from the Hokage to tell. We then decided to do less missions and more training. Hinata said, slightly worried that she had said something stupid. Damn that Asuma. He could have told us earlier, but no, he waited until 1 month before the exam. When I get my hands on him, he better have a good explanation or else. Ino said, red in the face. Naruto and the rest of the teams who had heard Ino's yelling came over asking what the problem was, and when Shikamaru and Chuji heard about Team 8 and Naruto's training, they sighed and said that this was typical for Asuma. Naruto assured them that Team 7 only started training 3 weeks before the first test because Kakashi forgot to tell them about it. That cheered Ino up a little, knowing that her rival had even less time to train than she did. They spent the rest of the day talking and having fun amongst each other, and even talked a little to the members of Team Guy. Well, 2 members of Team Guy, because Neji refused to talk to them. They learned quite a bit about Rock Lee and Tenten as well, and at the end of the day all of them had become friends and viewed each other as equally talented shinobi of the Leaf. After he showered and got dressed for the day, he rechecked his equipment and went outside to look for the rest of the rookie genin. When he arrived at the meeting room, he saw Hinata fussing over Sakura, trying to heal her wounds for her. Apparently Team 7 had made it just in time, and since the second test would end in a few hours, they didn't have much time to rest up. He made his way over to them and greeted him a good morning. Hinata smiled and wished him a good morning as well, but Sakura ignored him like usual, but something seemed a little off, he thought. He couldn't help but feel sorry for her. She could be a fantastic kunoichi, but her crush on Sasuke prevented her from reaching her full potential. He hoped that she would realize how wrong she was about Sasuke before she got herself killed. He saw Kiba and Shino standing on the far left side of the room and joined them. They knew from each other that they were nervous and that they needed to get their minds of it, so they talked about small things like what was better, dango or ramen or stuff like that. A few minutes later Hinata joined them with confused look on her face. That was strange, Hinata said, still looking confused. When they asked her what was strange, Hinata told them that Sakura had not only thanked her for healing her, she also apologized to her for all the things that had happened before. She said that she had no excuse to treat them the way she did and that she was truly sorry. She also said that she would apologize to each of them separately when the test was over. Naruto couldn't help wondering what could have happened to change Sakura in such a way. This wasn't the Sakura he knew. Maybe something happened after in the last 2 days in the forest. He would remember to ask her, he thought. Finally the second exam ended with only a few teams who made it through the forest. They had all been ordered to assemble in the Great Hall, and one by one the teams entered. When all the teams had arrived, the Hokage and their Junin senseis appeared as well, marking the end of the second test. Anko stood in front of them waiting for each team to take a position so she could do her speech and then join Kurenai. Congratulations to every team that made it through the forest. You have proven to us that you can handle yourself well while being in a tough situation and that you can be trusted with classified information. This is not yet the time to relax, but for now I give the word to Hokage-sama, who will tell you about the true reason for the Chunin exam. Once again congratulations on passing the second test, Anko said before appearing next to Kurenai, somehow relieved that her part of the exam was over. The Hokage nodded to Anko, thanking her for a job well done, and made his way over to the genins who were waiting for him to start. He looked at the teams and saw that 5 of the 7 teams were from Konoha. This pleased him greatly. He had known that the current generation was strong, and this was all the proof he needed. Welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. You have made your village proud by succeeding in the second test. You are the best your village has to offer, so be proud of that. Now, I'm supposed to tell you the true meaning of the Chunin exam. The true purpose of this exam is not just determine which genin is strong enough or good enough to become Chunin, it's more like a war on a miniature scale. Let me explain. A village strength depends on how many capable shinobi it has, but also on the fact that the other villages know how strong their opponents are. By holding the Chunin exam, however, we can judge how strong a village is. This is not entirely reliable, but it gives an idea. Let me give you an example. If a village sends 10 teams to enter the Chunin exams and all 10 teams pass, that would mean that their teams received excellent training and showed the rest of the villages that they're strong and capable of fighting. The other villages would see this and be wary to attack that particular village in fear of losing. Sarutobi started his speech. He looked over the crowd and showed that many of them started to understand what the exams were truly about. He then proceeded to tell them that this sort of exam saved many lives, since there would be no casualties except the genins who participate in the exam. He explained that war should always be avoided, and this was the only way to do so. He told them to fight with everything they got and make their village proud. After his speech, he started to explain what would happen next, but a Junin asked for permission to do it in his place. Sarutobi nodded and let the Junin take the stage so he could explain the coming events. Welcome, my name is Hayate and I'm the examiner of the third test. Before we start the third test, however, we need to reduce your numbers. Apparently the first and second test were too easy and now too many of you passed. Because of that, we will now have preliminary matches between all of you. I'll your referee and I'll start and stop the matches. Remember this well, when I say a match is over, that means you stand down. You will fight one-on-one and the winner will pass on to the finals. Those finals are the third test, in case you didn't get that part. Your opponent will be chosen by random and you cannot choose your own opponent. You lose the match when you lose consciousness. I end the match or you give up. Any questions? Hayate said. Seeing that nobody had any questions, he told them to get up to the balcony since the preliminaries were going to start in 15 minutes. Everybody went up the stairs, nervous and wondering who they would have to fight. Naruto and Team 8 had never been so happy that they arrived so early at the tower. They had time to rest and prepare, while some like Team 7 just arrived tired and injured. Naruto went over to Anko and smiled at her, letting her know that he was alright. She saw him smile and winked at him, showing she had absolute trust in him to pass his match. Every genin looked up to the wall where a giant screen appeared and started to shift through all the names so fast nobody could follow it. Then it stopped and the first match was called. Alright, for the first match we have Uchiha Sasuke and Yamanaka Ino. Please come down. Hayate called out. Ino cursed. Not only did she have to go first, she also had to fight the Rookie of the Year and her crush, although that was changing, she realized. This was going to end bad, she just knew it. There was no way she could beat Sasuke. As a matter of fact, she was scared to death of him after seeing him fight the Sound Nin in the forest. The fact that he could do something so cruel was something she couldn't forget, crush or no crush. But she wouldn't give up. She would show that she wanted to be a true kunoichi, not just a fangirl like many called her. When she passed Sakura, however, she heard her telling to be careful, and when she looked at her rival she saw worry and concern instead of the usual rivalry for Sasuke, which made her worry even more than before. Sasuke was content. Not only was he the first match, he also had to fight a weak fangirl, so this match was in the bag as far as he was concerned. He made his way down to stairs trying to look important and went over to Hayate, waiting for the match to begin. He smirked when he saw Ino's face, showing that she really didn't feel confident to fight him. Who could blame her, he thought. She was fighting an Uchiha after all. But while he wanted to take his time defeating her, that damned seal was hurting like a bee, and made him decide to finish the match quickly. After all, she wasn't someone who would pose a challenge. Alright, first match Uchiha Sasuke vs Yamanaka Ino. Remember the rules and show us a clean but good fight. Begin. Hey, it said. X. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.